Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey friends, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes, only this is Sunday morning. I do apologize. I've been fighting my allergies for a couple weeks now, and I'm afraid they're turning into something a little more severe. So yesterday was a very sick day, and today I'm not feeling great, but I am feeling better after having a fairly good night's sleep for me. So I wanted to jump on here and share some of the things that I did this past week. Now, many of you may have heard me talk about my sweet crafty neighbor, but she has moved to Ohio, which breaks my heart. Happy for her. It's a new chapter in her life, and I'm very excited for her. I just miss her. But she was down last week, so we just came in the craft room and we just played. We didn't make anything, but we just played, and we started out by using these new, well, this is a new spray. This is an old spray, old to me. These are from Imagine, the IrRESTible, and you see the resist stands out because they do resist. Actually, they feel like a plastic when they are sprayed out and dried. They're very, very textural. This one is great for Halloween if you want blood splats. This one is amazing. This one is called Love Letter. This one is Electric Coral. I have a couple others, but these are the only two that I'm going to show you today. So I started out with this beautiful stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. That was gifted to me by a sweet crafty friend. And then I sprayed this through. And this was the very first thing I did. We were just playing. And I let it sit and dry for a little bit because it's very thick. I don't know if you can see the texture on that or not, but it's very thick. And then once I lifted it, I printed it. And the prints are always my favorite. I can think of very few times when the print wasn't my favorite. But look at that. That is so much fun. I still have to make these into something, but that's where I started. And then we moved on to this stencil from Visible Image. And I don't have the one where I sprayed through. All of these are prints. So this was the first, no, this was the first print, because you can see it's pretty bloppy. And then I sprayed it with a little more water, and then I got that. Sprayed it again, and then I got that. And that's using this. So we got the spray through, and then 3 prints. That's pretty good for just a couple sprays of product. All right, and then we moved on to more stencils and more sprays. So last week I got a bunch of fireworks sprays, again from Imagine. I'm on the Imagine design team. Artist in Residence, I believe is what we are called there. And I have several. I'm just going to show these two for now. This is Angel Pink and Rosebud. Oh, this is the other red, Ladybug. Not that I used all those, but. So this is the first one, sprayed through. But the stencil that I used was this stencil. I believe this one is from A Colorful Life Designs. I have a similar one from Miss Ink Stamps. Sprayed it through, very fun, and then I printed it. There's the print right there. Look at the difference in the color on the black and the white. And by the way, these fireworks all are essentially mica sprays. Can you see the shimmer and shine? Very pretty. And of course, I love the print. All right, and then I moved to this stencil, the Honeycomb Hex. And the first one I got, again, playing with the black. I just wanted to see how will that work on the black. Let me move those. This one was the most used spray that day, Dandelion. It's amazing. It's gold, it's yellow, it's so many things. So this is that one again. This is on Craft. And I splattered in some tuxedo black as well. And then on this one, I printed it. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's really cool. Really cool. And then I went to this one. This is one of my favorite stencils from A Colorful Life. It's called Quatrefoil, and it's just such a fun take on that classic pattern. But this one I sprayed through. You can see, sprayed through, and then took the stencil and printed. And so of course we use some of this, we use some of the, what is this one? Rosebud and the Tangelo. This right here, my favorite. My favorite. So this one again, sprayed through, printed. And this time I used the greens. But there was still some of the other colors on the stencil, so it picked that up. You can see that glorious color blend there, and that was just the colors playing. Can you see all that mica? This is actually the paper towel that's in the bottom of my spray box, because this piece of paper, piece of cardstock, was just laying in the box and I didn't know it, so when I picked it up it had that on there, but I'm not mad about that. So there's those. Then I pulled out this little sweetie from A Colorful Life. It's called Rainbows Everywhere, and I actually have a few cards that I'll be sharing with you. One of them is with the spray through, and this is with the print. And again, look at those amazing colors. And that's just the colors blending. It's so much fun. I love that. So that's that one. Well, they need to be coming over here. And then this one is called Spyro Art. And so this was spraying through. The green and the gray. I also have this beautiful gray London Fog. I think it's gorgeous. And then I used this green Pear Tart. And I think I used the Cottage Ivy. Maybe, I don't know if it was Cottage Ivy now or Bamboo Leaves. But I used the two greens and then the gray, and I think it came out really pretty. And then I splattered some more of the gray on there. And then I printed. And again, here again is the paper towel showing through. Because what I did was I did this, right? Where's our center? Right there. And then I took the paper and I did this. So on some of them, I left that under there. Some of them I pulled that out so I wouldn't mess it up. And then I did this, and then as I pushed through, I got the paper towel to pull up on it. But I think that adds some very fun, unexpected texture on there. So those are fun. And then this one is a spray through with this stencil, which is absolutely lovely. And it is called Cloud Lattice. I have a lot of favorites from A Colorful Life. This is definitely one of them. And I did make a card out of the other one that goes with this. So we'll see that in just a minute. But yeah, so that's the stencil work. And then, of course, as things happen, the thought process changed. And we were like, hey, why don't we play with some embossing folders? So we did just that. I had not used this one yet. This is from Tim Holtz. It's the wood grain. I don't know how well you can see that, but I wanted to see how well it would work. So this is on white. Didn't work great. Not sure what I did wrong, but I'll figure it out. And then this is the same color combo on gray. Just thought it was a fun trial, you know. This one came out great, but I don't know how I did it either. Sorry. I put the color on this side, and then I, put it in like that. And I did spritz it a little bit. Anytime you see the image actually on the folder, that's going to be your front. And I love it that they do that, because that helps me immensely. And then, let me move these so they're not distracting. Then I did these, and they weren't great. This was the first one. You can see how I just kind of smeared the ink pad around, and it didn't turn out great. I'll still use it for something. I can doctor that up. And then this was, no, that was the first one. this was the second one. And then this was the reprint, because you can see how these are filled in and these are filled in. So I just sprayed it with water, and whatever was left, that's what I got. So again, I'll use them for something. And then we moved on to this beauty. This is new from A Colorful Life. No, it's not. It's from Spellbinders. It was their embossing folder of the month for, I don't know what month it was. It was recent. I think now we're in April. I don't know if they're on the April folder or if they're on the May folder. But anyway, this one was the previous, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I've been seeing a lot of people just take ink to it and run it through. So this is what I got. I'm not mad about it. Is it, you know, full coverage? No, not at all. But I still love it, and that will make a beautiful, beautiful card, or cards, plural, or whatever I decide to do with it. Then I wanted to switch up my colors, and this is not quite so successful, but it's more operator error, because the way that I put my green down for the leaves and where I put my green down, that's what turned it off. And I just put too much yellow. I didn't want the florals to be yellow. I just wanted the background to be yellow and the shadows, but again, that's me. I just put way too much. So there's that. And then we wanted to try something a little bit different. So I pulled out my gel plate. Do any of you do any gel printing? I love to gel print, and I have several. This is a case from Ranger, and this has my 5x7 and my 3x5. I use the 5x7, and I leave the grunge on there. A lot of people will clean them up. No, I leave the grunge. I leave the grunge. Your stuff is going to get stained. If you're using it and you're loving it, things are going to get stained. It's okay. That doesn't mean they're ruined. They still work perfectly fine. Gel print or gel plates will definitely stain. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with it at all. Now, I don't know if you could see, but I had a few cat hairs attached to that. I'm hoping that I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are little imprints on here. My kitty has since passed, but every now and then I'll find remnants. And I'm not mad about it. He was the sweetest boy. But I said that to say, if anything is on your gel plate when you store it, it will leave an imprint. So we used the gel plate, inked it up, and I think I used worn lipstick. And then I put this down. This being the back, so it's the raised part. I put it down, I squished it in, make sure I got a good print, and I got that. That was my print. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And then I spritzed this with water. I put the folder in. Well, I guess it was this way. I put the paper in the folder, ran it through, and I got that. And then I did it one more time, and I got that. Beautiful, right? All of them. Different, but beautiful. And then I said, well, let's try the other side. So I took the front of the folder, this side, and I pushed it down. Same thing. You can see when the gel plate changes color, or when the folder changes color, it's making that good contact with the plate. And then I lifted it up, and then I did this pull, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then I ran paper through the folder that was inked up from that pull, and I got that, spritzed it, and got that. And then I did another one, only I don't know what happened to the other part, because this is not that. Anyway, that was the last one that I did, but I think they turned out so neat. I really love them. I mean, look at that. Hang on. Isn't that so good? All right, and then I used this embossing folder from Gemini. Came with my Gemini Jr. from Crafter's Companion. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's this beautiful linen texture in the back. And that gorgeous kind of filigree swirl. And I did this one. So I used pink and yellow, of course. I did this. Lifted it up. And that's the print that I pulled. And you can see I still had some gray on there. See how it pulled up some of that gray? I love gel printing. This one is the front. This one is the back. Because the back is convex. This is where it's lifted. That pushes it through. So it pushed the image onto the plate. This one did not. This one is concave, meaning it goes in. And again, just look for the writing. The writing's going to be on the front. And then, because it doesn't leave as much of an image because it's concave, because it's not touching. So when you put it down, you can see that it really doesn't get up in those places. Or maybe you can't see it, I don't know. Versus that. You can see that the image itself is making good contact with the plate, right? With this side, you can still see the plate, but you can't tell that it's making good contact because it's not. So it's more leaving the outline. So that's this one, and then that's the back. I think they're beautiful. But the next one I have to show you is using a stamp. Have you ever used a stamp on your gel plate? You can use all kinds of stamps. I just wanted to stick with the background size. These two didn't work great. So I have 3 more, and I'll show you those cards here in just a bit. Then I moved on to this beautiful stamp. Actually, I believe it's considered a texture plate. Yep, texture plate for gel printing. TPBM texture plate by Marlene 04. That is stunning. I love this. I had it turned that way. And then I put this down. So this was the first one. You can see the beautiful color on there. Here I got some of the lost shadow. It did stay. The rest of that is just leftover remnants. And this is the print. So whatever was left on my stamp, I laid the stamp like this, and then I put papers down on the stamp and I lifted that. So pull, print. Here, same thing. Pull, I had mustard seed on the plate, then I inked up the stamp with Uncharted Mariner, and then I stamped the stamp onto the plate. Lifted that up, so the stamp now is full of ink as well. And then this is the pull, so you get those different colors. It looks very Indian. And then this is the print. And again, this was full of ink, so I just took these over and went like this and just did a pull off of that. So yeah, so whew, that's a lot. Thank you for bearing with me. Now I want to show you real quick the cards that I made with these things. I just need to move them. So this one you can see in the background. This was a very pretty pull, but there were parts of it that just didn't work. So that's where I strategically place my other products. Again, look at the background print. I know it's hard to see once other things are on the top, but this one was probably the best one. This one was probably second. I wanted to get that color that was still left on the stamp, so I sprayed the stamp itself, and then I pulled this. This is one of those prints. Remember where I said I had the stencil down in the splat box and the paper towel under it, so it pulled all that texture from the paper towel? So that's that. And then this stamp set is an old one from Sassy and Crafty, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, so this one is this, and I thought that was super fun. This is the print of the lattice cloud that I sprayed through. And then I use this sweet little stamp right here from Simon. This is an oldie too. It's called Leafy Frames. Simply just took gray and stamped it around there. This time I used pumice stone to stamp. Same idea. This is one of the prints from the Rainbows Everywhere, another one of the cocktail glasses, and then the Just Because, which must still be in my Misti. But I did it in two tones, the pink and the purple, so it would coordinate with that. And then I used both of these leaf stamps just to kind of fill in that corner. And then I did a little bit of ink blending to tone it down a little, and then a little bit over on this corner just for balance. And then this is the final card I wanted to share with you today. That one was again created with a print from the stencils and the sprays, the fireworks sprays. But again, so we've got splat box, paper towel, stencil with the ink on it, and then I put the paper down, and that's how I get this kind of a print. Really cool. And then I have not used this stamp set from Neat and Tangled in so long. I just stamped directly down onto the pole, and then I heat embossed, and I colored them up with my Korean luminance. So very, very pretty. Very fun. And the coloring is just all about the layers. I put just not a wash of color, but just almost scribbled down the color. And then I went back in and I added highlights and I added depth. And yeah, I think it's really fun. And then I pulled out the greens and the pinks from the background on the plane. I thought it was super fun. So that is it, guys. That's what I have to share with you today. Thank you for bearing with me. This is a lot. I know. Yeah. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I did not say in the beginning, but Saturday Morning Makes was originally developed by Jillian Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards. And it's a way and a place where we can connect, we can share our art, and just get together in a sense, see what everybody else is doing, get some beautiful inspiration, and connect. Connecting, I think, maybe not more than sharing art, but connecting was a big part of it, a really big part of it for Jill when she had this idea. So I'm thankful for her. She has several folks that help her out. I can't remember what she calls them, not facilitators, but something like that. And there are many, many very creative, very caring, very crafty people that are working on this. And if you would like to join us, simply use the hashtag SatMornMakes. All one word, SatMornMakes. Hashtag SatMornMakes. And then just put up a video. Show us what you've made. And I appreciate you guys for spending some time with me. If you want to see other inspiration, go ahead and use that same hashtag, and then it'll create a playlist for you, and you can see what's out there. So Satmorn Makes, hop on over to see Jill Norwood and all of the other people that are out there being crafty and sharing their love and their heart with you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys, for sticking with me to this point. I know it's a lot. If you would, go ahead and comment, stick with it, in the comment box downstairs, and you will be in the running for a drawing. I'm going to do just a quick little giveaway like I like to do, especially if the videos are long. So go ahead and make that comment downstairs. Like I said, stick with it, and I will close out the drawing and announce a winner on Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. So be sure you check back to see if you've won. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, all those things. But most of all, know that I love you. Mwah. Until next time, I'm out.